Hello everyone, welcome back to Pokemon Through the Years. In the last episode we defeated the 4th gym here in the Sinnoh region, and still the gym badges are not in the quote-unquote right order. I honestly always have assumed that this is the right order, because this is the Diamond and Pearl order they're in right now, and we're going to keep them in that order because one gym from now everything is going to be lined up until the 5th gym badge anyway. So in today's episode we're going to take on some Team Plasma grunts, and I think we're going to make our way slowly but surely towards Pastoria City, meaning that we'll get some more new encounters as well, hopefully. And before we do that, we'll have to take care of these Pokemon here. I've been playing the reverse lock on the live streams quite a lot lately, so I might be a little bit confused as to what advantages for typings go where. This will be interesting. If anything, the reverse lock itself has been going fairly well, but now it might actually screw me over in Pokemon Through the Years, which would be a very interesting thing to have happen. That being said, I've got a speed button here, which is more than I can say from... That is pathetic for something that's super effective. I don't have a speed button in the reverse lock, obviously. You are free to check out the VODs, but it's much more fun if you come check that out live. It has been a while since I last recorded a Pokemon Through the Years video. Let's switch out. But into what? We don't have a fire type, which is pretty much the only thing that can hurt Bronzor, right? Fire and maybe Ghost? Let's see, let's just go into Clara for Jumpluff and then we'll see. Probably could have gone for Return on Jumpluff, but I don't know why I didn't actually. So yeah, it's been quite a while since I last recorded this. I don't think we had any death in the last episode, so... because my team didn't have any empty spots on it. But my overlays are something different, and it's all very confusing for me at the moment, because the overlay I'm using in OBS, the recording software I use, is actually just the Photoshop file, which is usually supposed to be the most recent version of the layout, which that one is not showing. It just isn't. It's a version of the layout that was... like, it has a Grottle on it, it's got Pineco on it, it doesn't have the Fighting Gym badge on it yet. It's got Probopass on it, I think Probopass... Did Probopass die or did I just put it in the box? It's still got Biff on it, which I'm pretty sure Biff is actually... oh, I'm sorry. Is actually dead. So, I don't know what happened there with the Photoshop file. I might have, like, saved it differently or something like that. We'll see. The videos themselves have the right overlays, because obviously I only have that as a reference in the recording, and then I actually put the actual overlay over it in editing to make sure that everything is correct, and usually it is. So I guess I can Rock Smash the Bonsly. This does fuck all damage, because Rock Smash, while being super effective, is kind of a shitty move. So I had a topic to talk about in today's episode, and I kind of forgot what it was. Which is a little bit sad, honestly. It's always annoying when that happens, because I've been thinking, oh, I need to remember that for when I record the next Pokemon Through the Years episode. Because I can't really talk about like anecdotes in the same way in Minecraft or Kingdom Hearts, because those are a lot more gameplay focused commentary. And that was really pathetic damage-wise. He might have heat proof and not levitate. I think the chance that he does is very, very small. But if he's got heat proof, he's weak to earthquake. Actually, don't I have Dragon Rage? I think I've got Dragon Rage. I can just Dragon Rage him, and that's a guaranteed 40 HP damage. And anyway, so when I want to talk about something, I'll usually note it down. And for this, for some reason, I didn't. And I forgot what it was. So, if any lesson is taken from this video, it's that I do have Dragon Rage, and it's actually a very good move. Make notes. Make notes. When you want to not forget something, write it down. type it into a notepad, something like that, make notes. Because if I had made a note, I would have just read the note and I would be talking about the topic right now, rather than trying to stall for time, hoping that I still remember what I wanted to talk about, which is never actually going to happen, but I'm kind of just hoping that we run into something gameplay-wise, which then spins off into, you know how this works, I just ramble on based on partly gameplay, but mostly the gameplay is just there to distract you from the fact that I actually make no sense half of the time. If that's news to you, by the way, I'm very sorry that you've been watching my channel for, well, depending on how long you've been watching, could potentially be years at this point, right? That being said, in that years of watching, there's also like a couple of years of not anything being uploaded to watch in the first place. But you could have gone back to, I'll give you this, I guarantee 100% that there's not a single person watching this who has seen all of my videos. Which is really good, because the first like couple hundred of them very, very much suck. But not a single one of you seen all of my videos. I guarantee it. I even want to go as far as saying not a single one of you has seen 50% of my videos. Because at this point, counting all the videos that are not public, which are like 100 something, I think, I've uploaded over 2,000 videos to this channel, which I know because I enabled them like in bulk for monetization the other day, and there were like 2014, 15, something like that videos. Again, some of those are privated and are no longer publicly available for a variety of reasons. Most of them are because they're not in English, and that's why I privated them. So yeah, let's say it's 1800 videos. Let's say there's 200 videos that are private. I think it's less, but let's say 10% of the videos on my channel are set to private. 1800 videos publicly. If you watched not 10% of that, 50% of that, half of the videos I ever uploaded, you'd have to watch about 900 videos. Most of those videos probably about half an hour in length on average. So that means you have watched 450 hours of my content. I just do not believe that there's anybody alive on this planet that has done that. Because if you have done that, you probably don't want to be alive on this planet anymore, because it's just not a lot of fun. I mean, that's punching down on myself a little bit. I'm not saying that I suck as a content creator, as a matter of fact. And this is not a very popular thing to say, but I do think people on the internet have a very unhealthy way of like punching down in a certain... It's not really punching down as much as it is, let me think for moments here, Twitter. For some reason, people on the internet are like, if you say you're good at something, that makes you automatically like an arrogant asshole, where no. You don't always have to be like very shy and insecure about the things you're good at. If you're good at something, you can own it. And I don't want to say I am the best Let's Player, the best content creator, the best YouTuber, whatever you want to label me as, that has ever existed, because I'm not. And especially since that is not something you can even classify, because personal taste and style really go a long way into dividing that into separate things, like even in the length of videos, right? If you make 15-minute videos, you're probably going to have a different style of commentary, because you don't go on long tirades like I do, because you don't have the length of video to do that. So you are restricted to smaller, more bite-sized stories, and as a result, you're going to be a different kind of channel. You might still be a gaming channel, you might still be a Let's Play channel, but your commentary style is going to be very different. Is one better than the other? Not necessarily, they're just different. So saying you're the best at something like that, something so broad, that's just impossible to begin with. And I'm not even trying to claim that I'm the best at anything. I'm just saying that I think that after years of doing this, after years and years and years of... I mean, I just told you that that could be bad. That's not that bad, never mind. I just told you if you watched half of my videos, you've probably watched about 450 hours of my content. I have made, and we're going to count the full 2,000 videos here, that means I've made about 1,000 hours of content. That means I've talked into a microphone, talking about games and talking about random shit for 1,000 hours over the last couple of years. Like the last 6 or 7 years. And it might be slightly more, even. Because 1,000 seems like a little bit low to me, personally. I think over 1,000 hours or something like that, there's the 10,000 hour rule, which has, if you want to master something, you need to put 10,000 hours into it. And generally speaking, yeah, that's a good rule to follow. But I think after putting in 1,000 hours into mostly anything, but especially something so very specific as 1,000 hours into just the talking, because you need to remind yourself, after I finish recording these, I don't watch them back in its entirely, because I don't like listening to my own voice for extended periods of time. Nobody does. But I do listen back to it. And especially lately, I've been doing a lot more like selecting clips to put up on social media like Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and TikTok. So I go over my videos a little bit more than I usually do. And as a result of that, you also listen to your own videos. You listen back to what works and what doesn't work, and you reflect back on that. And like for every hour that let's do it the other way. For every like probably 30 or so hours I record, I probably spend about an hour to an hour and a half listening back to my own commentary, which also goes into those 10,000 hours. So let's say it's 1 in 50 to make the math a little bit easier, right? So 1 hour is gained for, let's go 2 hours. Let's go 2 hours is gained for every 50 hours that's recorded. So I've recorded about 1,000 hours. Again, I think it's more, but let's say 1,000 hours. So that means that out of those 1,000 hours, I have also then, what is that, like 50, 500? So that's like 200 hours? 20 hours? I don't know. I think that's 200 hours. No, that's 40 hours. So it doesn't make that much of a difference if you do. I'm doing live math here. I'm not very good at that. We're going to, okay, calculator. I am now very bothered by this. Okay, so we've got 1,000 hours. We divide that by 50, so that's 20. So that's just the answer, 20 extra hours. That's actually not that much. It's probably, I feel like I'm missing a step here. Oh, and then times 2, so that'll be an extra 40. Did I run into a wild Pokemon yet? I don't think I did. Did I? I don't think I did. I think this is my first encounter for Route 214, and Zangoose isn't bad, actually. Probably not going to use it right away, but it'll come in handy. Oh, that could be bad for me. Anyway, so the thing I'm trying to get at here is that I've put in at least 1,000 hours of recording and, well, let's say 40 hours of listening back to my own voice. Now that I'm doing the math there, I feel like one of those variables really just is grossly misrepresented. It's probably more like I get an hour. Did I say an hour of every 30 hours? Because that is way too little. Okay, now it's more like I'll listen back for an hour every probably 10 hours. Oh, don't kill the Zangoose! You idiot! So let's say that's 1,100 hours in total I have worked on and listened to and just like paid attention to. Oh, that is... Double Edge is a scary move, but a scary move that I do like. More than Aqua Ring, more than Rollout, more than Bubble Beam. I don't know, I actually quite like my current setup. I don't think Aqua Ring is going to be too useful though. So I'd say that what I'm doing right now, which is what this entire tirade started as, I've gotten pretty good at it. I am not very coherent, as is evident by this very example, but I'd still say that I'm at least somewhat interesting to listen to, that I'm somewhat energetic and fun when I'm on camera, which when the camera turns off, I am way less energetic. Obviously, it's not like I'm playing a character necessarily, but I'm definitely like hyping up my energy levels to levels way beyond what I usually am off camera. It's like a... And again, I do tend to talk a lot about like the ideas behind the scenes, especially in these videos a lot, but I do think that might be what makes them interesting to begin with. Most YouTubers do that, and a lot of them also openly talk about it. Some of them don't. Maybe not like they're hiding it, it just never comes up, right? But pretty much, I can guarantee you, pretty much every YouTuber that you do watch, this is a different encounter area for us. So let's switch into like Twitter, because Acreus is not doing very well at the moment. Any YouTuber that you watch, they're entertaining, but it's not that good. They're always either like putting on a entirely separate character from their personality, which most of the time when that is the case, it's fairly transparent that they're doing that. Like with Francis and Boogie, whatever the numbers are, I've not watched his content in a long time, but that's an example of, yeah, it's fairly obvious that this is a character being put on by the actor. Most like Let's Players though don't do that, but they do still generally like present themselves, their own selves, their own personalities in a like way over the top and energetic way. Because usually normal people aren't that interesting to watch. It's just that easy. Normal people are kind of boring. So you need to turn that up to fucking 11, maybe 12 out of 10. And then it becomes interesting. Then anybody really does become interesting, because I'm not that much of an interesting guy, and that might be why there's like 10 people watching this and not 10,000. So maybe I'm saying I'm good at this and I'm interesting, but I'm really not. And that is why my views keep being so low. But honestly, if I need to... we're going to call you a Rami. I think I already have a Rami, but you're a rat, so it fits because Ratatouille. I forgot my train of thought. I just entirely lost it. And a legendary encounter! What did I miss out on? Let me see. It's an Azelf. Honestly, late trio, I'm not that mad that I don't have one of you, because I don't really like the late trio. They're kind of just not that good. I'm sorry for anybody that likes a late trio, but they're just kind of there. And they're not that useful. And why is it raining on Route 213? You should be able to heal me, right? Yeah. And with that, we now arrive at Route 213. And we're going to have to do more trainer battles. And then we can get one more encounter before we end of this episode in the grass at Route 218. In the next episode, I think we'll be able to go into Crash Awake's gym already, but Crash Awake has a pretty powerful party, going up to level 37 usually, which probably means like level 38 or 39 in this edited ROM. So some grinding is definitely going to be in order before we do it. We can also go into the Great Marsh actually this episode, so let's do that as well, just to give ourselves every opportunity. We knew we already had a Trapinch die. That would have been so good to have a Flygon though. It's going to be good for grinding though, right? Because Flygon seems like one of those Pokemon. It's a fully evolved Pokemon, so surely it's also a very common encounter on this route apparently. It's a fully evolved Pokemon, so it probably gives a decent amount of experience, I imagine. And you're a Smeargle. You're a dead Smeargle. Well, guess we're not catching that one. Shit. We have one more chance at the Great March, and the thing is, we can't actually kill the Pokemon in here. So we can go in here already, alright? Everything is randomized anyway, so it doesn't matter that much. Actually, we don't have control over anything anyway, so Might as well. Let's see what we run into here. It's a Ninjask, which we'll release in a moment because we already had one. Wait, do we have a Ninjask? I know we have a Ninkata. Which actually makes me think... Scrubby. Why not? That usually is a Great Marsh Pokemon, actually. Funnily... Oh, fuck you. I didn't think about the fact that they could run away. Okay, so we're not getting a Pokemon there either. I think we're just gonna go into the gym. Still have time left. Yeah, I don't really care. I have like this nuzlocke rule thing where I can only catch the first thing I run into, and it's really annoying. And I guess actually we've got a little bit more time left before we have to end of this episode for sure. So, and we also have a route left to go on and potentially catch a Pokemon. So let's encounter a Pokemon here on Route 212, I want to call it. And it's a Rosalia. Didn't we already have a Badoo? I think we might have already had a Badoo. I'm going to catch this, and if we had a Badoo, we're going to come back. I really should... Again, I have this spreadsheet, and I'm just not using it. It's really bad. What we're going to call you? We're going to call you... I've been watching the second half of the season 4 of Rick and Morty, and Rosalia is like the most opposite thing you get to Rick. So there you go. Are we going to review the entire season 4 of the entire series of Rick and Morty next episode? Because now that I've mentioned that, I kind of want to talk about it. Maybe. Probably not, but maybe. We do have to check if we did have a Badoo already, though. I feel like we did. I think we did. I don't know for sure. Something tells me that we did. In which case that Kabuto definitely... by the way, Kabuto would have been Dupes Claws as well, I think, because didn't we have a Kabutops as well? We're running out of encounters we can even get at this point, slowly but surely. Do we have a Badoo in here? It does not look like it, so apparently we do not in fact have a Badoo. So, we've got Rick the Rosalia, which will be useful sometime. Didn't I? I don't know. I don't know why I'm thinking that I had a Badoo. I really don't know. Did I get a Badoo? I probably got one in the reverse lock, but it's a useless piece of crap. Because it's a Badoo. Also, I literally cannot evolve it because I only stream those during the afternoon hours, and it will not evolve during afternoon hours, which is a little bit too bad. I can evolve off screen, obviously, but yeah, that's a little bit too bad. I'll see you back next time, though. Until then, I'm a vlogger. You have been awesome, as always. This has been a wild episode, hasn't it? I'll probably do a little bit of grinding off screen. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Bye.